This is Think Out Loud on OPB. I'm Dave Miller. For 7 years now, the Portland-based organization Stone Soup has hosted a culinary education training program for people with significant employment barriers. That could mean substance use disorder, big gaps in work experience, or other obstacles. The program aims to equip participants with skills they'll need to enter the food service industry or other industries. The nonprofit's community kitchen program also provides meals to senior care communities, schools, mental health facilities, and shelters. Ellen Damaschino is the executive director of Stone Soup PDX. Mikey Barth took part in the culinary training program in the past. They both join me now. It's great to have both of you on the show.
Thank you.
Hi. Thank you.
Ellen, first, how did Stone Soup get started?
Stone Soup got started in 2019 by Craig and Ronit Gerard as a way to give back to the community. They both were in love with food and recognized the need for training in this hospitality industry here in Portland. So we started as a kind of a downtown. We had a cafe and a culinary training program. And we actually sold soup and had a little restaurant in the downtown area.
I think most people know the folk story of Stone Soup. What's the connection between the name or that story and the mission?
Yeah, our tagline is everyone has enough to spare and share. And that is really what the folktale is about, that everybody contributes to something to feed people. And so that is the mission of Stone Soup, is that we want to not only serve the community with meals, but we're also training people to make those meals.
And it's been that idea from the beginning, both giving food to people who need it and training people who are making that food so they can both make that food and have a career in the future?
Correct. A stable career. I think that's really important.
So, Mikey, what were you doing before you got involved with this training program?
I was really looking for an opportunity like that. You know, I was recently, before I got into Stone Soup, I was recently off the street, homeless. I was getting my life together, getting sober. I just really wanted a job, and I really wanted to, start making something of myself. I wanted to start making some adult money. But it's really hard when you have big gaps in your resume. It's really hard when you have like substance abuse past, because a lot of people prejudge. A lot of people don't want to give opportunities to a resume that hasn't had a job for 5 years.
Yeah.
But Stone Soup, they didn't care anything about that. They just were like, hey, come get some training, get some money. And it was awesome.
Can you tell us what a day in the life of the training program was like for you, especially at the start?
Mm-hmm. It was really relaxed and open, and it was really friendly. The first day we started learning how to safely handle and use a knife. It was a really fun process. They offered us a lot of options. Like whenever we were making something, they were always asking us, like, what do you want to make this time? What do you want to bake? When you make scones, what do you want to put in the scones? It was a really cool program.
Did you have any of those skills before you started?
No, I had, I watched a lot of Gordon Ramsay videos on YouTube, and that's the extent of my skills. I've always wanted to be a baker, but I didn't know that I was lacking so many basic skills.
Huh. Ellen, so how common is a training program like this in Oregon? I mean, there are cooking schools around the country, but what we're talking about here is, it seems there's some overlap, but it actually seems really different.
It is. It's a workforce training program, right? You're only in it for 12 weeks. We're not a culinary school. We're not going to teach you how to sous vide things. We're going to teach you to get a job. And so we offer not only just those basic culinary skills, but we also offer how to write a resume, how to have a job interview. And we offer soft skills as well, like working together as a team, how to show up on time. So it's more than a culinary school. It is a training program for people to get into the workforce fast. And I say food service. That's really what we're looking at.
Food service.
Yeah.
And why food service? I mean, this could be, I don't know, moving people towards an apprenticeship in being electricians or plumbers or construction. There are a lot of fields that you could do work training in. This is about food service.
This is about food service. And there's sometimes people who they finish our program and say, I love it. I learned so much and I don't want to go into food. We've still done a great job. We've given them 12 weeks of training. And that's a good decision on their part as well. So we offer that. with the result of them going to food service. And I think food service is a larger arena in food and hospitality, right? So a lot of people think culinary equals restaurant. Well, there's hospitals, there's commissary kitchens, there's retirement centers, assisted living facilities, those types of stable jobs where you can go to work every day and you're going to get benefits, you're going to get a regular schedule. So we're kind of gearing our participants towards that end of food service.
Mikey, as Ellen was saying, it's not just about knife skills and food safety. There's also the people skills, soft skills. What kinds of things did you get from your training in addition to, food specific skills?
Well, really, Stone Soup offered like a lot of foundation and with good foundation, you can really go anywhere. What I mean by that is like after graduating, like they still have free lunches that you can just like go up and show up and, eat and see people. But like they're also, while you're there, you're getting to know the people there and they're getting to know you and they're opening up themselves to you. And like, I made some personal connections with two people there, Mateo and Max. They really just like they became my friends while I was there. So it didn't seem like I was coming and, it didn't seem like I was being surrounded by teachers. It was like I was being surrounded by people who just really want the best for me.
Ellen, how big a change have you noticed in people from week 1 to week 12?
Wow. Good thing it's radio and you can't see me getting teary-eyed, but it is profound. By the time you get to graduation, everybody's crying because the stories that people tell, how they entered Stone Soup and how they leave Stone Soup, it's life-changing because we do provide that safe environment for them. And so many of our participants have been in unsafe environments. So we're giving them the skills, but we're giving them the confidence. And oftentimes at graduation, it's the only diploma they'll ever get.
What are the requirements the point of this is bringing in people who have significant barriers to employment.
Yes.
Do you have any barriers yourself to who can participate in the program?
We purposely keep our entrance low barrier. There's 2 requirements. You must be over 18 and you must be housed. That's it.
And what's the reason for having to be housed?
We found in the past that people who came through the program that weren't housed had struggled more to complete the program. And so we just made our kind of intake a little bit more stable. So making sure they're more stable when they get there so they can have success, because that's ultimately what we want them to do.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking right now about the nonprofit Stone Soup PDX, which, among other things, offers a culinary training program for people with significant employment barriers. Mikey Barth took part in the program. Ellen Damaschino is Stone Soup's executive director. Mikey, my understanding is you ended up getting a job at Elephant's Delicatessen.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I am a production baker. I'm making a lot of focaccia for all the Elephant restaurants in Portland. I'm making dinner rolls, hamburger buns, learning to make pastries. It's really fun. I've never had a job like it before.
Could you have gotten that job without this program?
Probably with some blind luck. Maybe. I don't know. Really, like, Elephants led directly, Stone Soup led directly to Elephants in a lot of ways.
What's your day-to-day job like at this point? So focaccia, rolls, hamburger rolls, various things. So a lot of baking. But what's an average day like?
I show up at 6 a.m. I start mixing dough. We look at the catering for the day. We see if we have to like prepare anything extra. Right now, for some reason, we need to make 3,000 extra biscuits for
literally like right now.
Yeah, we need it done by Wednesday this week. But yeah, it's really fun. It's a lot of the same every day, but you never know what you're going to expect coming in.
Do you like baking bread?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Why?
It's really fulfilling, and you take it for granted. Like you don't understand how much goes into just making just a little portion of bread.
Ellen, so obviously we have a success story here. How common are stories like Mikey's? Someone who had challenges in the past, dealt with homelessness, substance use, and now is back to being employed in a job that he's saying is fulfilling. How common is that among the people who take part in your is it a 12-week program?
It's a 12-week program, yeah. It's more and more common for us. We've kind of got the formula down now. So we have almost 70% of our graduates after 3 months with us are permanently employed. And that's a really great number for us. I think we've honed in on what employers want from us. We have to say, are we giving you the training that you need? So we've done a lot more of that. We have an employment specialist now who's actually placing people in jobs. So we're really successful now in not just training people, but placing people in stable jobs.
It seems like what you're saying too is that that's evolved over the years,
Yes.
that you've gotten better at this. So what are the lessons that you've learned that you think could be applicable to other programs? Like what have you learned that it's made placement better, that it's made the program more effective?
I think there's two things that we, as I said earlier, making sure that people are pretty stable when they come in because we want them to make it through that 12 weeks. The final 4 weeks are like an apprentice program. You're either making food for the cafe or you're producing those 2,100 meals that we put out a week. So they're getting practical training at the end. And that really helps with resume building because they've done what they said they were going to do. They just didn't go to school. And so that's been helpful, and having an employment specialist and connecting in the community to find out what the community needs from us.
Do you provide wraparound services to the people who are taking part?
Yes, we have a full-time support services coordinator. So when you arrive at Stone Soup, if you need non-slip shoes for the kitchen or pants or a hop pass, if you need to apply for SNAP benefits, if you need rental assistance, we have a support service coordinator that will help you with all of that because that is to help you stay in our program through those 12 weeks.
We've been focusing on the production of the food and the training program, but where does all this food go? Who are you today providing food for?
Yeah, we're providing food for shelters. We're adult daycare or adult facilities, drop-in day centers for low-income seniors. We're also mental health facilities, small, tiny villages. So people that are living the experience where at places where our participants come from is actually who we're making food for.
And is that literally the case sometimes? Have you had people
Yes.
that you've made food for and then they've gotten out of the shelter, they've gotten back to being housed, and then they take part in the program?
Yes, and they'll say, "Oh, I had your food while I was in shelter."
And now I'm making it.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Have you seen an increase in need since the provisions of H.R. 1, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that we've talked about a fair amount over the last year or so, since they've really been kicking in? I'm thinking about, you mentioned SNAP. That's a big one where now there are more strict employment verification rules,
Yes.
for example. What have you been noticing in terms of hunger and need?
So 82% of our participants are on SNAP, very high percentage. More and more of our participants come in early. We feed them a breakfast. They get a hot lunch every day. So we are alleviating those meals that they may need to buy.
To be clear, you're talking here not about the recipients of the food,
No.
but the people who are in the training program, the participants in the training
themselves.
program.
So the need is higher than ever for the participants, and the numbers have gone up also in our community meals. We're now at 2,100, where we were at 17 last year. So we've seen it on both ends.
Mikey, what are your hopes for your career going forward?
I just hope that I can remain stable in a job that I enjoy doing. I've mentioned Mateo before. Mateo is an interviewer coordinator with the
Support services coordinator.
their support services coordinator. Ever since I got into the program and met Mateo, they email me every now and then to check to see how I'm doing. They ask me if I've started doing more drag. They always, push me to do creative things, even outside of cooking and culinary. It's really awesome.
Mikey and Ellen, thanks very much.
Thank you for having us today.
Mikey Barth is a former participant in Stone Soup PDX. Ellen Damaschino is the executive director of the Portland nonprofit. Here's a quick note for tomorrow evening. We still have a few seats left for our live taping tomorrow evening at the East County Library in Gresham. You can join us for conversations about the area's transportation system, recent changes to the city's water supply, and the food pantry and farming education nonprofit that's opening up a new community space in Gresham. You can register for a free ticket right now at opb.org/East County. Again, only a few tickets are remaining. You can get your free one right now.